Have you ever felt like someone important to you didn't value your ideas? Maybe it was a friend who didn't pay attention to them. If you have a friend or partner who doesn't seem to value your friendship or efforts, it can be very disappointing. But what if I told you there was a way to change things? Imagine the person who doesn't value you today starting to see you differently and wanting to be close to you, admiring your every move. Sounds like a dream? It's more real than you think. I'll show you how to change this dynamic and make someone who doesn't value you become obsessed with you. Get ready to learn secrets that few people know that can change your life in a surprising and swift way. The way we feel about our own worth is based on our self-esteem. Modern Stoicism is based on recognizing our own worth, just like Marcus Aurelius did in his Meditations. This means waking up every day feeling good about who you are without needing anyone else's acceptance. Everyday self-evaluation, because after all, what is Stoicism if not being able to find peace within yourself when things are going wrong? Having high self-esteem sets us free from other people's views, letting us live by our own standards. People who have high self-esteem not only feel good about themselves, but they also give off a good vibe that makes people want to be around them. Stoic practices help us keep this confidence. It's not about narcissism, but about serene self-assurance. By practicing Stoicism's beliefs and reflections every day, we create an aura that naturally makes other people feel confident in us. Say a Stoic thought like the ones in Stoic literature to start your day, and pay attention to how it changes the way you deal with other people. Stoic philosophy gives us useful ways to boost our self-esteem. Daily thought and negative visualization are important parts of this path. If you're wondering how to become a Stoic, the answer lies in being strong and accepting fate in Amor Fati Stoic reflections. Teach us to value our actions and lives, which builds a strong base of self-confidence. For example, when you're facing a challenge, picture the worst thing that could happen and mentally get ready for it. This practice not only boosts self-esteem, but also encourages peaceful acceptance of what we can't change about how other people see us, which is an important part of developing emotional independence. One of the most powerful things Stoics do is show the world that they are strong and stable by following Stoic virtues. Communication that is assertive, honest, and in line with Stoic principles can change how we connect with each other at work and in our personal lives. Think about Marcus Aurelius and how he led with both strength and kindness. To be Stoic is to be real, and people notice and value this. People who want to improve their relationships need to be able to communicate assertively and listen actively. Stoic principles teach that sharing thoughts and feelings clearly and with respect makes things easier. Understanding each other. Imagine having a conversation with someone where you listen to them without judging them and then respond calmly and clearly. This is an example of Stoic wisdom in action. Doing these things every day will not only boost our self-esteem, but also make our relationships stronger by creating an atmosphere of mutual respect and admiration. How we see ourselves has a direct effect on how others see us. People who are sure of themselves tend to get more respect and attention, which shows how positive they are. This is one of the main ideas behind Stoic thought. Feel safe. A modern Stoic knows that real self-confidence is not cockiness, but a calm determination. Imagine going into a room and commanding everyone's attention without saying a word. That's what Stoic self-confidence is all about. People who are confident have an undeniable aura that makes them attractive to others. Stoic practices can help you develop this trait. For example, if you do what Stoic books say and think about your actions every day, you'll start to see how valuable you are. This internal awareness changes into an energy that others can't help but notice. people see calm self-confidence based on Stoic principles as strength and steadiness, not narcissism. Self-knowledge and consistent practice are needed to build confidence that is seen as magnetic. Another way to do this is to think negatively. A Stoic practice that helps us deal with problems by picturing the worst-case scenario and getting ready for it mentally, you become stronger and more secure. This kind of mental preparation, which is common in Marcus Aurelius's meditations, boosts your confidence and makes other people see you as well-prepared and sure of yourself. The confidence we show has a big effect on how we interact with others. When we're sure of our abilities, it shows in our posture and body language. Stoic habits, like thinking about our virtues and values, help us feel more confident in ourselves by focusing on personal growth and ongoing improvement. We make people respect and admire you. Think of patient leaders in history who earned the respect of many people by just being there and being sure of themselves. Stoic-based, genuine self-confidence has a domino effect on our lives. By becoming emotionally independent and practicing active listening, we show others that we are valuable people. This genuine self-confidence not only improves our self-image, but also makes our relationships with those around us stronger. By practicing daily Stoic practices like meditation and reflection, we create a presence that is seen as safe and trustworthy, changing things. Stoic practices can greatly improve our self-esteem and how others see us. For example, Stoics start their day by thinking about the things they did the day before. This is an important habit that is talked about in many Stoic books because it helps them evaluate their actions and values. One of the most important practices is the morning reflection, where they think about the challenges they will face and how their virtues can help them. Self-esteem grows as we become more aware of our worth and abilities through this ongoing self-reflection. Visualizing bad things is one of the most powerful Stoicism tools. This method involves picturing bad things that might happen to get mentally ready for them. This not only makes us stronger, but it also boosts our confidence, which can help when we're getting ready for a big show, for example. Think about the problems that might come up and picture how to solve them. This method, which was based on Marcus Aurelius's exercises, helps us deal with problems calmly and clearly. Building up our self-esteem. Stoic philosophy is based on the idea of amati, which means acceptance of fate. By accepting and embracing all of our life events, good and bad, we build strong self-esteem. It's not about giving up, but about finding value in every situation. Tough thoughts and reflections teach us to value our actions and decisions, no matter what is going on around us. Modern Stoicism encourages us to accept things as they are, which helps us see our lives as important and meaningful, which makes us feel better about ourselves. Daily meditation and writing in a book are Stoic practices that can really help boost self-esteem. By writing down our thoughts and progress, we can track our growth and celebrate our successes. A Stoic journal, where we write down our thoughts and the good things we do, is a useful way to see our growth. Stoic philosophy says that this not only makes us feel better about our own self-worth, but it also keeps us in line with our own values. To boost your self-esteem with Stoicism, you have to keep evaluating yourself and growing. It helps us feel good about ourselves when we think about our actions and goals every day. By committing to Stoic virtues and accepting our fate, we build self-esteem that doesn't depend on outside factors. Stoic philosophy gives us a strong sense of self-confidence that lets us face life with strength and peace, knowing that our worth will not change no matter how other people see us. It's important to follow habits that promote Stoicism and personal growth. To become emotionally independent, one of the first things that needs to be done is to practice emotional detachment, which is a basic Stoic practice that helps us become calm and sure of ourselves. Being stoic doesn't mean not caring about anything. It means finding inner strength. For example, when a modern Stoic is criticized, they reply with serenity, showing that they are sure others will quickly notice when they practice Stoic virtues like courage and wisdom. Justice and temperance are important for changing how other people see us. When we show these virtues in our daily actions, we build a strong and complete character. For example, think of a professional who, when faced with a problem, acts with calmness and justice, always looking for the most moral solution. This kind of behavior not only builds trust, but also respect. Following these Stoic ideals has a big effect on how people see us. Another good idea is to get better at being aggressive when you talk to people. Stoic principles teach that speaking clearly and respectfully makes interactions more genuine and respected. For example, when you give your opinion, do so with conviction, but also with respect for other people's points of view. Active hearing, which is an important part of assertive communication, shows that you understand and care about what others are saying, which makes you look better in their eyes. This calm way of talking to each other makes our relationships and how others see us stronger. Being steady and dependable is a key part of changing how other people see us. Keeping our word and acting in a predictable way are also important. Get a reputation for being honest and stable. For example, Stoic leaders, like Marcus Aurelius, were seen as trustworthy because they were morally consistent. People see us as trustworthy and moral when we act in ways that are based on Stoic values. This improves our image and earns us respect and love. To change how other people see you for good, it's important to take a holistic approach that includes the values of emotional independence, assertive communication, and consistency. By incorporating these Stoic practices into our daily lives, we become a positive and trustworthy presence in other people's lives. This dedication to personal growth and modern Stoicism changes us not only on the inside, but also in how the world sees us. The next step is to understand how important assertive communication and active listening are for strengthening our relationships. Being able to communicate assertively is a basic skill that everyone who wants to improve their relationships needs to have. Stoic philosophy teaches us how important it is to say what we think and feel in a clear and polite way. Imagine that you need to give helpful feedback to a co-worker instead of harsh criticism. Based on Stoicism, being assertive means using firm but kind language and showing respect and understanding. It's just as important to actively listen. Actively listening to others without talking over them or passing judgment is a skill that helps people connect and understand each other. A new way of being Stoic. Active listening helps you understand other people's wants and points of view. For example, staying calm and really hearing the other person during a tough talk can turn a possible fight into a chance to make the relationship stronger. This silent behavior shows that you value and respect the other person's voice. Active listening and speaking up for yourself. Clear communication of needs and feelings and active listening are key to building healthy relationships. Daily Stoic reflection practices can help you get better at these skills. For example, at the end of each day, think about your interactions and figure out how you can be more assertive and listen better. Stoic philosophy is based on the idea that you should always be judging yourself. To use assertive communication in real life, set your goals before a big talk and think of Stoic phrases that make you feel calm and clear when you need to say something. Do it with confidence, but also be willing to hear the other side. This is especially helpful at work, where clear communication can help avoid mistakes and make teamwork more effective. In turn, active hearing makes it seem like you value what other people have to say. You need these skills not only for personal growth, but also for success at work. People see someone as trustworthy and sensitive if they speak up for themselves and listen actively. If you adopt these Stoic habits, you will not only improve your relationships, but you will also stand out as a natural leader. Being consistent and dependable in what you do every day. Another Stoic concept adds to this picture, creating a cycle of trust and respect between two people. Dependability and consistency are key parts of any strong relationship. Keeping to routines and keeping promises helps build an image for honesty and stability. Stoic thought is based on the idea that people can trust each other when they know they will do what they say they will do. This level of dependability not only makes relationships stronger, but it also builds a strong base of mutual respect. The daily practice of Stoic values can be seen in how consistent you are. Strong control is needed to be consistent in what you do every day, something that Stoics value a lot. One real-life example is the promise to always be on time for meetings. Small actions like these show that you value other people's time and your own word. By following Marcus Aurelius's example, who wrote a meditation on the importance of moral consistency, we can project an image of unwavering reliability. People will notice and value this behavior. Being reliable also means keeping your word, no matter how big or small the promise. This is especially important at work, where trust is the most valuable currency. Think of a co-worker who always keeps their promises and meets goals. This level of dependability makes the workplace more peaceful and effective. Stoic habits like daily self-evaluation and reflection help you stay consistent. At the end of each day, think about the promises and acts you made to make sure you're meeting your responsibilities. Being consistent with your deeds and your values is important. Strong character means sticking to your morals no matter what. Stoics taught us that we should live by our values no matter what. This means being honest and trustworthy in all situations, which makes people trust you and look up to you. By being consistent and reliable, we build a strong base for all our relationships. These traits not only improve how others see us, but they also boost our own self-esteem and confidence. By following Stoic virtues like justice and wisdom, we create a life of honor and integrity. The next step is to explore empathy, a skill that deeply connects us with others and makes our interactions even better. Having empathy is a must if you want to build real, long-lasting connections. We are deeply connected to each other when we understand and share each other's feelings. Stoics believed that empathy was the key to living in peace with others. To practice empathy, you must first learn active listening, a skill we've talked about before. When you truly listen to what others have to say without judging or interrupting, you create a place of mutual understanding and respect. Developing empathy also means being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Imagine being a friend who is having a hard time. By trying to understand their feelings and points of view, you not only show support, but you also strengthen the friendship. This is a principle of compassion and humanity. Tough reflections help us remember that everyone has problems and that understanding is the way to bring people together. By doing this every day, like by listening carefully to a co-worker's problems, our social ties get stronger. Approaching a disagreement with the goal of understanding the other person's point of view can lead to cooperative solutions. For example, in a workplace dispute, practicing empathy can change the dynamics of the conversation by recognizing the other side's feelings and concerns. You can then find common ground and move forward together. This behavior is in line with Stoic philosophy and encourages an atmosphere of cooperation and respect. Being empathetic doesn't mean agreeing with everything someone says. It means recognizing their feelings and validating their experiences. This Stoic way of thinking encourages building relationships based on trust and respect. Picture a leader who, instead of telling their team what to do, first tries to understand their worries. This practice not only boosts mood within the group, but also makes the workplace more productive and peaceful. Empathy is therefore an important skill for good leadership and teamwork. Developing empathy not only makes our relationships stronger, but it also makes our own lives better. Seeing the world through other people's eyes gives us a lot to think about, gives us new ideas, and makes us more human. Meditation and thinking about the people we meet every day are Stoic habits that can help us get better at this. The next step in our journey is to look into how to improve the social skills that are needed to have better relationships with others and build useful support networks. Getting better at social relations is important for making friends and finding support networks. Social skills are a group of behaviors that make it easier to talk to and connect with other people. Stoic philosophy tells us that we should always be wise and fair in our relationships. Beginning talks. Some of these skills that we can improve every day are keeping an open body language and handling conflicts well. For example, at a social event, you could go up to a stranger and start a friendly chat. This simple action can lead to new friendships and opportunities. Body language is a very important part of how we connect with each other. An open and receptive posture shows confidence and interest, which are important in any social situation. For example, when you meet a friend and make eye contact, smile, and listen carefully, these small actions create an atmosphere of trust and welcome. The Stoics say that our actions reflect our inner state, so by being open and friendly, we show that we trust and respect others. Another important social skill is being able to handle disagreements well. Stoic philosophy teaches us to stay calm and logical in tough situations. When there is a conflict, it's best to approach it with empathy and an open mind. For example, if there is a heated argument at work, a modern Stoic would try to understand all sides before responding. This not only calms things down, but it also leads to a more fair and peaceful resolution. Regularly working on our social skills can change how we deal with others every day. Joining clubs or groups with people who share your hobbies isn't joining a book club or meditation class, for example, can help you practice active listening and assertive communication. These places also give us a safe place to try new things and improve our social skills, which helps us feel like we belong and are part of a community. Developing social skills also includes the ability to make and keep support networks. The Stoics thought that good relationships and helping each other were very important. Building relationships based on respect and mutual benefit is very important. Think about how useful it is to have friends and co-workers you can count on when you need them. These support networks not only make our lives better, but they also make us stronger and more resilient. The next step is to keep a cheerful and hopeful attitude, which is important for mental health and resilience. Adopting a positive and hopeful outlook is essential for building strength and improved mental health. Stoic philosophy tells us to concentrate on what we can change and accept what we can't. This way of thinking helps us deal with problems by giving us hope and thanks. For example, practicing gratitude every day is a powerful way to boost your mood. Before bed, take a moment to think about 3 things you are thankful for. This simple exercise can change the way you see the world and make you stronger. Being optimistic means not only hoping for the best, but also being ready for the worst, which is something that modern Stoics often do. Negative visualization, in which we picture bad things happening, gets us emotionally ready to face problems. This mental preparation makes it easier for us to handle tough conditions. Keeping a positive attitude even when things go wrong. Imagine a Stoic who loses money but instead of giving up, they think of ways to get back on their feet. Keeping your mind clear of negative thoughts is another powerful way to keep a positive outlook. Often, our minds get stuck on negative thoughts, which can lead to a circle of pessimism. Stoic philosophy tells us to question these negative thoughts and replace them with more positive ones. For example, instead of thinking, "I never get this right," we should think, "I am learning and improving every day." This constant practice of reorganizing our thoughts helps us stay positive and see progress all the time. Mindfulness and meditation are also important for keeping a positive attitude. These practices help us stay in the present and enjoy the little things in life. For example, a modern Stoic might start the day with a morning meditation that focuses on breathing and being thankful for the opportunities that the day brings. Mindfulness exercise every day not only calms the mind, but also makes you feel good for the rest of the day. Keeps us grounded and positive no matter what is going on around us. Keeping an upbeat and optimistic attitude has a big effect on every part of our lives. It not only makes our mental health better, but it also makes our relationships and work better. People who are optimistic are more likely to be strong, flexible, and successful. We can build a strong and positive mindset by using Stoic techniques like gratitude, negative visualization, and cognitive restructuring. The next step is to understand why positive feedback is so important for both personal and professional growth. Positive feedback is important for both personal and professional growth. It means giving and getting feedback in a polite and helpful way. Getting better Stoic philosophy tells us to be open to learning and giving feedback with an open mind. When giving feedback, focus on specific behaviors and how they can be improved instead of making personal judgments. For example, instead of saying "you always do this wrong," say, "I noticed this approach didn't work well. Let's try this instead." Receiving feedback with grace and humility is just as important. A modern Stoic sees criticism as a chance to improve, not as an attack on their character. For example, if someone criticizes your work, instead of getting angry, thank them for their opinion and think about how you can use it to improve. Their ideas for making things better. This method not only helps people grow as people, but it also makes professional ties stronger. Asking others for feedback on a regular basis helps with continuous improvement. When we do this, we show that we want to grow and are ready to learn. For example, after finishing a task or project, ask your co-workers what they thought went well and what could have been done better. This habit not only helps you grow, but it also shows that you value what other people have to say. Feedback can change the way you work on your personal and professional growth if you use it every day. Write down in a journal what you think about the feedback you get and how you plan to use it. This practice fits with Stoic reflections and helps you stay focused on continuous improvement. When you accept constructive comments, you strengthen your resilience. Overall, get better at what you do and make your relationships better. By using techniques from ISM and working on ourselves, we can change how other people see us and make our relationships stronger and more important. Fostering understanding and improving social skills. Keeping a positive attitude and being open to helpful criticism are important steps on this path. By doing these things, we not only make our relationships with others better, but they also make our own lives better. This builds trust, respect, and a desire to keep growing. It's important for both personal and professional growth to be able to give and receive constructive criticism. Stoic philosophy teaches us how important it is to be honest and keep getting better. When we give feedback, we should be specific, positive, and frequent. For example, if a co-worker works hard on a project but makes a few mistakes, A modern Stoic would point out the good points and respectfully suggest ways to make it better. This kind of helpful criticism pushes the person to keep working hard and getting better. It's also important to receive feedback in a good way. The Stoics believed that you should keep an open mind and learn from everything. When you receive feedback, it's important to listen carefully and think about the points made without getting defensive. Think about how Marcus Aurelius thought about criticisms in his meditations and used those thoughts to help him grow. This shows maturity and a desire to keep improving oneself. For feedback to be truly constructive, it must be given with the goal of helping, not criticizing. Stoicism teaches us to be understanding and kind, which makes sure that feedback is well received. A good example of this would be a leader who, when finding a mistake in a report, first thanks the person who worked on it and then offers ways to make it better. Finding this balance between praise and criticism makes the workplace a good place to be, where everyone feels valued and motivated to do their best. It's also important to create a feedback culture in our relationships and workplaces so that people are willing to give and receive feedback openly. This builds relationships and encourages mutual growth. Self-evaluation techniques used by Stoics can be used here to get everyone to think about what they did and always try to do better. A culture of constant and constructive feedback is a sign of a healthy and progressive environment. When used correctly, constructive feedback is a powerful tool for growth and development. It not only helps people see where they can improve, but it also builds trust and teamwork among those who are honest. We can use this tool effectively if we give and receive feedback with empathy and self-reflection. The next step is to build resilience and emotional control, which are important skills for dealing with problems and daily stress. Building resilience and emotional control is necessary for facing life's problems. Stoic philosophy tells us not to worry about things we can't change, but to focus on how we will react to them. For example, when a modern Stoic faces a problem at work or a personal conflict, they stay calm, think about what will work best, and then decide what to do. This practical approach, which comes from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, makes it easier for us to deal with daily stress and problems. Being resilient means being able to bounce back quickly from problems. Negative visualization and other Stoic practices help us face bad situations with serenity. By picturing bad things that could happen, we train our minds to accept and get through any problem. For example, before a big meeting, picture possible problems and how you can solve them. This practice not only makes you stronger, but it also gives you a sense of control over your emotions, which is important for staying calm. Under pressure. Being able to control your emotions is important if you want to live a balanced and useful life. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and accept what we can't. This helps us stay calm even when things are stressful. For example, if you have a disagreement with a coworker, a Stoic would take a deep breath, think about what's going on, and then respond carefully. This not only solves the disagreement, but also makes the other person feel more stable and confident. Meditation and deep thought are great ways to build strength and mental control. Meditating on our thoughts and actions for a few minutes every day can make it a lot easier for us to deal with stress. Stoic ways of living suggest, every day we reflect on our feelings and figure out what we can do better. This habit not only helps us grow, but it also gets us ready for future difficulties. Resilience and emotional control are important for living a successful and fulfilling life. By doing Stoic practices like meditation, reflection, and negative visualization, we can improve these skills and live more balanced lives. These practices help us stay calm in difficult situations, which makes our lives more harmonious and gives others the impression that we are confident and stable. Finding out how important honesty and moral consistency are for being seen as a trustworthy person is the next step. Honesty and moral consistency are the building blocks of a life of respect and trust. Living by high moral standards like honesty and integrity is important too. The Stoics stressed how important it was to always act in line with our values, even when it meant going against your principles for short-term gain. If you were in this situation, a modern Stoic, remembering Marcus Aurelius's teachings, would choose to stay true to their principles, knowing that true value lies in living a good life. Being honest and consistent in your actions is not only the right thing to do, but it's also a powerful way to earn respect from others. For example, a leader who always acts with justice and transparency, even when things get tough, builds a reputation for dependability. Tough reflections help us keep this high standard by urging us to look at our actions and reasons for doing them every day. Being honest in all settings means always being aware of what we're doing. Stoic philosophy tells us to think about our daily choices and make sure they are in line with our values. Imagine a worker who, at the end of each day, thinks about their choices and actions. This habit not only helps people be morally consistent, but it also helps them keep growing. Stoic values, such as wisdom and justice, help us be more honest when we practice them every day. People respect and admire people who stick to their morals no matter what. For example, Marcus Aurelius was known for having strong morals and being honest all the time. By practicing Stoic habits like meditation and thinking about our actions, we can become living examples of these values and encourage others to do the same. Being honest and morally consistent is important for our own peace of mind and for building strong relationships. By following Stoic principles, we make sure that our actions reflect our deepest values. This makes us seem like trustworthy people with strong morals. The next step is to look into how important it is to have traits like autonomy and independence that help us make firm choices and stay true to ourselves even when outside forces try to change us. Developing independence and autonomy is important for living a real and satisfying life. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be self-sufficient and make choices based on our own values instead of giving in to outside pressures. Imagine having the courage to go your own way even when everyone else is going the other way. Today's Stoics respect independence because they know it's the key to real freedom, honesty, and a strong sense of self-determination. Let us live our lives based on our own values, not what other people want us to do. Being independent means being able to make strong choices and stick to them, even when things go wrong. Stoic practices like daily meditation and reflection help build this ability. For example, when you have to make a tough choice at work, take a moment to think about your values and what's really important to you. This habit of introspection, which came from Marcus Aurelius's meditations, promotes clarity of thought, which is necessary for emotional and decisional independence. Independence doesn't mean being alone. It means being able to keep your personality no matter what. Being emotionally independent lets us connect with others in a healthy and balanced way. Imagine being in a relationship with someone where both people are emotionally independent, making the relationship feel complete instead of dependent. Stoic thought values relationships in which each person stays true to themselves and their own decisions. This makes the connection deeper and more meaningful, which strengthens autonomy. It is important to become less emotionally and decisionally dependent on other people. You can do this by constantly evaluating yourself and developing yourself. One practical way to do this is to make a personal action plan that includes your own values-based goals and priorities. Not only does this activity boost your confidence, it also helps you make sure that your actions are in line with your long-term goals. Stoic reflections support this practice, which helps people stay focused and determined by encouraging them to grow in their independence and autonomy. Other people naturally respect and admire us because we give off an image of being strong and determined. When our actions are in line with Stoic principles, we can live a real life that is in line with our true values. The next step is to look into the cultivation of meaningful relationships, a practice that helps us find and grow valuable connections that make our personal and social lives better. Investing in meaningful relationships is important for a full and satisfying life. The Stoics believe that human connections should be based on virtues and mutual growth, not just on what's convenient for both parties. Think about having relationships and people that make your life better, bring you joy, and help you through hard times. This is what modern Stoicism values. We always try to strengthen the connections that really count. By building relationships based on honesty and respect, we make a social circle that helps and motivates us. Finding and staying in touch with useful people is an ongoing process. Stoic practices like thinking about our interactions every day help us figure out which relationships are worth our time and energy. For example, think about the conversations you had during the day and ask yourself which ones were meaningful and which ones were just surface level. This kind of self-reflection helps us focus on the relationships that really make our lives better. Stoic wisdom tells us to value the quality of our relationships over the quantity of them. Stoics also teach us how to be a good influence in our relationships. By practicing virtues like patience, kindness, and compassion, we can become better friends and partners. Imagine a family argument where you don't react emotionally, but instead respond calmly and try to see things from the other person's point of view. This way of thinking, which comes from Stoic philosophy, not only helps solve problems better, but it also strengthens bonds of trust and respect. Having meaningful relationships means letting go of connections that don't serve us anymore. This can be hard, but it's necessary for our emotional health. The Stoics teach us to value our time and energy and direct it where it's truly appreciated. For example, imagine having a friend who constantly ignores your friendship. Instead of putting energy into an imbalanced relationship, a Stoic chooses to focus on connections that are more mutually beneficial. By investing in meaningful relationships, we build a support network that helps us in times of need and celebrates our successes. People who are whole and happy, ready to take on any task with the help of a strong and meaningful network. Building resilience and emotional control is important for dealing with life's problems. Stoic philosophy tells us that we shouldn't let things that are out of our control bother us. Instead, we should focus on how we react to them. For example, when a modern Stoic faces a problem at work or a personal issue, they stay calm, think about it, and decide what the best thing to do is. This useful method, based on Marcus Aurelius's exercises, makes it easier to deal with everyday problems and stress. Being resilient means being able to bounce back quickly from problems. Stoic techniques like negative visualization can help you do this. Prepare us to handle bad events with serenity by picturing them. We train our minds to accept and get through any problem. For example, before a big meeting, picture possible problems and how you can solve them. This practice not only makes you stronger, but it also helps you feel in charge of your emotions, which is important for keeping calm. Emotional control is important for everyone who wants to live a balanced and useful life. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and accept what we can't. This helps us stay calm even in stressful situations. For example, when a Stoic has a disagreement with a coworker, they take a deep breath, think about what's going on, and then respond thoughtfully. This not only solves the disagreement, but also makes the other person feel more stable and confident. Meditation and deep thought are great ways to build strength and mental control. Daily meditation on our actions and thoughts for a few minutes can make a huge difference in how well we can deal with stress. Stoic practices suggest that we do daily reflections in which we think about our feelings and figure out how we can improve. This habit not only helps us grow, but it also gets us ready to face new challenges. With a calm and balanced mind, you can be resilient and in control of your emotions. To improve these skills and live a more balanced life, we can do Stoic practices like meditation, reflection, and negative visualization. These help us stay calm when things go wrong, which makes for a more peaceful life and gives others the impression that you are confident and stable. The next step is to understand how important honesty and moral clarity are. Honesty and moral consistency are important for being seen as a trustworthy person. Living by high moral standards like honesty and integrity is important for being seen as a trustworthy person. The Stoics stress how important it is to always act in line with our beliefs, no matter what. Imagine a situation where you want to break your morals to get what you want right away. A modern Stoic, remembering Marcus Aurelius's teachings, would choose to live an honest life because they know that is what is truly valuable. Consistently practicing integrity is not only the right thing to do, but it's also a powerful way to earn respect from others. When we are consistent in our actions and decisions, we show the world that we are people with strong morals. For example, a leader who always acts with justice and honesty, even when things get tough, builds a reputation for dependability. Stoic reflections help us keep this high standard by pushing us to look at our actions and reasons for doing them every day. Always being honest means being aware of what we're doing. Stoic philosophy says we should check our choices every day to make sure they are in line with our values. Imagine a worker who at the end of each day thinks about their choices and actions. This habit not only reinforces moral consistency, but also encourages growth. Stoic ideals like wisdom and justice help us be more honest when we practice them every day. People around us notice and respect moral consistency. Being known as someone who sticks to their principles, no matter what, creates an atmosphere of trust and respect. Think of historical figures like Marcus Aurelius, whose honesty and moral consistency were admired and emulated. By practicing Stoic habits like meditation and reflecting on our actions, we can become living examples of these values and encourage others to do the same. Honesty and moral consistency are important not only for our own peace of mind, but also for building strong and trusting relationships. By following Stoic principles, we can make sure that our actions are in line with our deepest beliefs. This makes us seem like trustworthy people with strong morals. The next step is to look into how important it is to have traits of autonomy and independence that help us make strong decisions and stay true to ourselves even when outside forces try to change us. Self-reliance and independence are important for living a real and satisfying life. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be independent and make choices based on our own values instead of giving in to pressures from others. Picture being sure of yourself enough to go your own way even when everyone else is going the other way. A modern Stoic values independence because they know it's the key to true freedom, and truthfulness come from feeling like we can live our lives according to our own rules, not what other people want us to do. To be autonomous, you need to be able to make strong choices and stick to them, even when things go wrong. Stoic practices like daily meditation and reflection help strengthen this ability. For example, when you have to make a tough choice at work, take a moment to think about your values and what really matters to you. This habit of introspection, which came from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, promotes clarity of thought, which is necessary for emotional and decisional independence. Independence does not mean being alone, but being able to keep your identity in all situations. Being emotionally independent lets us connect with others in a healthy and balanced way. Imagine being in a relationship with someone where both people are emotionally independent, giving each other a sense of completion instead of dependence. Stoic ideas and values. Each person in this kind of relationship stays true to themselves and their independence, which makes the connection deeper and more meaningful. To strengthen independence, it is important to lean less on others for emotional and decisional support. This can be done by constantly evaluating yourself and working on your personal growth. One real-life example is making a personal action plan in which you list your values-based goals and priorities. Not only does this activity boost your confidence, it also helps you make sure that your actions are in line with your long-term goals. Stoic Reflections encourages this practice, which helps us stay focused and determined. By working on our autonomy and independence, we project an image of strength and determination that makes others automatically respect and admire us. When our actions are in line with Stoic principles, we can live a real life that is in line with our true values. The next step is to look into cultivating meaningful relationships, a practice that helps us find and nurture valuable connections that make our personal and social lives better. Investing in meaningful relationships is important for a full and satisfying life. The Stoics thought that human connections should be based on virtues and mutual growth, not just on convenience. Imagine having friendships and relationships that make your life better by bringing you joy and support when things get tough. A new take on Stoic ideas. We always try to strengthen the connections that really count. By building relationships based on honesty and respect, we make a social circle that helps and motivates us. Finding and nurturing meaningful connections is an ongoing process. Stoic practices, like thinking about our interactions every day, help us figure out which ones are worth our time and effort. For example, think about the conversations you had during the day and ask yourself which ones were meaningful and which ones were just surface level. This self-reflection helps us focus on the relationships that really make our lives better. Stoic wisdom tells us to invest in the quality, not the quantity. How many relationships we have. Stoics also teach us how to be a good influence in our relationships. By practicing virtues like patience, kindness, and generosity, we can become better friends and partners. Imagine a family argument where instead of reacting emotionally, you respond with calmness and empathy, trying to see things from the other person's point of view. This method, which comes from Stoic philosophy, not only helps solve problems more quickly, but it also builds trust and respect between people, which leads to deeper relationships. Also means being able to let go of relationships that aren't helping us anymore. This can be hard, but it's important for our mental health. Stoics teach us to value our time and energy and put it where it's truly appreciated. For example, imagine having a friend who never returns your friendship requests. Instead of putting energy into an imbalanced relationship, a Stoic chooses to focus on more mutually beneficial and enriching connections. By investing in meaningful relationships, we build a support network that helps us in times of need and celebrates with us in times of joy. These connections, which are based on Stoic virtues, not only make our lives better, but they also help us grow and change. The daily practice of reflecting on our interactions and living by our values strengthens these relationships, making us more whole and ready to face any challenge with the help of a solid and meaningful network. Network building resilience and mental control is important for dealing with problems in life. Stoic philosophy tells us that we shouldn't let things that are out of our control bother us. Instead, we should focus on how we react to them. For example, when a modern Stoic faces a problem at work or a personal conflict, they stay calm, think about it clearly, and decide what the best course of action is. This practical approach, which was inspired by Marcus Aurelius, makes it easier for us to deal with daily stress and problems. Being resilient means being able to bounce back quickly from problems. Stoic practices, like negative visualization, help us be ready to handle bad situations with calmness. By picturing bad situations, we train our minds to accept and get through any problem. For example, before a big meeting, picture the problems that might come up and how you can solve them. This practice not only makes you stronger, but it also gives you a sense of control over your emotions, which is important for keeping calm. Under pressure. Being able to control your emotions is important if you want to live a balanced and useful life. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and accept what we can't. This helps us stay calm even when things are stressful. For example, if you have a disagreement with a coworker, a Stoic would take a deep breath, think about what's going on, and then respond carefully. This not only solves the problem, but it also makes the other person feel more stable and confident. Meditation and deep thought are great ways to build strength and mental control. Every day, meditation on our actions and thoughts can make a huge difference in how well we can deal with stress. Stoic ways of living suggest every day we reflect on our feelings and figure out what we can do better. This habit not only helps us grow, but it also gets us ready to face future difficulties with a calm and balanced mind. Resilience and emotional control are important for living a happy and successful life. By practicing Stoic habits like meditation, reflection, and negative visualization, we can improve these skills and live more balanced lives. These habits help us stay calm in difficult situations, which makes our lives more harmonious and gives others the impression that we are confident and stable. How are you going to start improving how you talk to people and making your ties stronger? How can you start using the Stoic philosophy in your everyday life to make it more healthy and satisfying? Remember that small changes can add up to big changes over time. Please share your thoughts and problems in the comments. We want to know how you are doing.